Hello, my students and scientists, and today I'm going to be doing another triple bot review. Today we have Bumblebee Movie Core Class Shockwave, Legacy Deluxe Class Kickback, and Netflix War for Cybertron Siege Decepticon Mirage. So let's get Shockwave out of the way. So this was one of the first core classes we got for the new wave, and it is Shockwave from the Bumblebee movie, and I don't like it. I've got to be fully honest, this alt mode is just... no. There's his head, there's his hands, you know. Articulation-wise, the only thing that really moves is the cannon. That's because it's attached to the back of his head. No. So, I'm going to transform him, and then we'll get into the reasons as to why. So, first of all, let's pull out the gun, fold this lever down, put it to the side. Untab these parts from the legs by rotating them down. At the same time, you're going to untab, because this post is meant to go into that hole, and then rotate 90 degrees. You want to rotate the head 180. You want to come to the chest, and you're going to come under here. You're going to pull the legs off, because they will... I'll show you more. You're going to pull it back. Now, these two posts on the side of the chest are going to go into these two little holes in the side of his thighs. You're going to straighten his legs by pulling them down. Fold up his torso. Come on. You're going to push up his torso. Fold in his chest. Like so. Get everything nice and square. You're going to come down to the feet and you're going to flip them forward. You're going to take the cannon, you're going to plug it into either one of his hands. And here we are, and it's Shockwave, but small and really not good. I've got to be fully honest, it's like, should have done this as a deluxe, at least. Articulation-wise, the head is on a ball joint. Arms are on a ball joint, they can do a full 360 up at the shoulder, in and out. You bend at the bicep, or bend at the elbow, swivel at the elbow, nothing at the hands, nothing at the waist. Legs can go forward that far, they can go back that far, they can come out that far due to the thigh. You're about just under 90 degrees of bend, and of course you get a little toe articulation. Yep, so Shockwave, not really a huge fan of core class Shockwave. Should have been a deluxe in my honest opinion. Other than that, you know, if you want a small Shockwave, you can get it, but I'd seriously do it when he's on clearance or Ollie prices. Up next, Legacy Kickback. So we have the faithful G1 Decepticon, who was based off another toy, and of course they did just announce the fact that they're going to be reusing this mold for Ransack, who was meant to appear in G1, but never did. There's really not much to write home about. It's his alt mode. There's a bit in the G1 cartoons. A little heavy on the electron. Electron? Yep, so pretty cool. I'll show off his accessories in robot mode. Articulation-wise, these move. These move. Back of his knees move. And of course these do move. But it's not really much to write home about. It's, at the end of the day, all you can really do is modify. There is a third-party kit in the way. So you want to... So to transform him, first of all, stand him up and fold his wings all the way back. Come to the back of his arms and fold down his bug arms. At the same time, you're going to fold his fists out. Show you on this joint, because you see this groove? That is where his bug leg goes into. Fold this down. Straighten out his arms. Straighten his wings. Come to the back. You're going to move his head out of the way to move this part down. There's a part in there that covers his face. Rotate his head around. Come to the feet. You're going to fold out his toes. You're going to fold down his bug mode feet and pop them into the back of his joint. And it's Kickback. That's an alright robot mode. You know, the yellow, the black, and the purple do work quite well. Getting close here on that head sculpt, you can see he does have his cheeky G1 grin. My only major points of these wings, you can fold them down to have them look like the start of a cloak, or you can just angle them back like I do. Mainly just because that's how I saw them do it in G1. Articulation-wise, his head is on a ball joint, can do a full 360, can look up that far, look down that far. Arms can do a full 360. They can go in and out due to the weird shoulder. You get a swivel up there. Bend at the elbow. Bend at the bicep due to the transformation joint, and nothing at the wrist. You get a very good waist joint. Legs can go forward that far, and they can go about that far. You can do just over 90 degrees of bend at the knee, and his legs can go about that far. Also, you have a swivel here, and of course, toe bend. Now, he does come with our accessories. We'll put him here. Whoop, whoop. First of all, you get these two translucent... Hang on a minute. These two translucent purple energon blades. And the tabs can clip onto the back of the wings up here. So, make sure you have them on the correct wings. Like so. You can clip them onto either side of the arms to give them cool blades. You can get them up onto the shoulder pads. Heck, you can even connect them to the bottom of his feet. So, here, and here. But for me personally, they have a post here and a port up there. Switch them around. They also have a port down here. And now you've got him a sword, which you can go shooting. But I like to use the second blade. It gives them a bit of a Klingon vibe. And then, of course, you get his ray gun, which you can put into the other hand or any of the ports. But the stock gets in the way and go pew pew bang bang. So that's 2 for 2 Decepticons down. This is a very evil review. So we've got the Mad Scientist. We've got the Insect who can multiply. So let's now do the Decepticon who's really not. Mirage. Decepticon Mirage. Now during the War for Cybertron trilogy lineup, if you were lucky, when they launched the show on Netflix, you could find certain characters redone in a special red and white box. Well, these were the Netflix characters. These were existing characters who were repainted. One of the other Netflix characters I have is the Sparkless Seeker. But you could also get Optimus Primal, Soundwave, which was the only Soundwave that could turn into his boombox, Decepticon Mirage, Impactor, Deep Cover, and so many more. Even Bumblebee without the Autobot symbol. Again, this was to tie in with the show. And, yep. He only ever appeared in this once. So as you can see, he's this lovely dull, cyan, purple, and grey. And you've got the battle damage. This purple is fantastic. You've got the Decepticon symbol on the front of the bumper here. And he does roll. Very interestingly, with the wheels. So, yeah, and this one, by the way, I've got a funny story about him when I transform him. So let's get down to that, shall we? First of all, you want to fold the front wheels down. This is to get clearance out of the way. You're also going to pop this part off, because these two parts tab into those two parts there. That's going to stand out of the way while you focus on the legs. You want to come around to the back, fold out his feet, bring them down, rotate them, and then you're going to bring this assembly back. It's going to fill out this thigh. Second burst is much like the first. To unfold and get argued with the toy. Fold that back, bring that forward. There you go. That is the lower waist. You're going to come up to the upper assembly now. You're going to pop up his head, fold in his big racing wheels. That's going to fill in this box. You're going to fold down that assembly, and it's going to make his waist. You're going to come to these parts. You're going to just to the spoiler. You're going to split them apart and fold them back. Straighten out his arms, and you're going to come here and fold out his hands. And of course, he does get the accessory to give him his iconic shoulder rocket. And of course, his blaster, which can go pew pew bang bang. And yeah, I actually have to say this was one of the figures I really was quite sad to have slipped on. I saw him, didn't really look at him, and then upon looking back, I was like, oh man, I like that color scheme. Kind of wish I got him, but thankfully, Sally here in Christchurch sold him to me. But here comes the funny story. So when I brought him, unfortunately for me, I forgot to put the city I lived in. So there are two Richmonds where in the South Island of New Zealand. One in Christchurch, which is the city I live in, and one in Nelson, which is the city I don't live in. So, the Postal Service, because he forgot to put Richmond, and because I forgot to give him the Richmond, thought it was to Nelson. This dude went all the way to Nelson, and then came all the way back, so this bastard went to Nelson without me. Anyway, articulation-wise, his head very stiffly is on a ball joint. It can do a full 360, but I'm not going to push it. Arms can do a full 360. You can go in and out at this joint, and in and out at this joint. The spoiler pads can move up and down. Swivel, which does make it really good if you need to do shots like that. You can swivel at the bicep, bend do on the non-arm. A very okay-ish bend at the elbow, and of course, due to transformation, a bit of a wrist joint, slight wrist indent. Swivel at the waist. Legs can go forward that far. Mine, they are very snug. They can go back quite far, actually. That's quite far. They can do a pretty good high kick, so, you know, you can have a pretty good fight scene. Bend at the knees, just over 90. And a little bit of toe movement. So, final thoughts on all three of these Decepticon figures. Shockwave, is unfortunately for me a very big letdown, due to the fact that really this figure would have benefited from being a deluxe, more so than a core class. He has very good paint, he has very good articulation, even though he is a core class, and that is okay. He's not my cup of tea, so I'll probably end up having to get rid of him at some point, but that's just me. Kickback is a bit of a fun little, you know, homage to the G1 Kickback. If they are doing I know they're doing a Transformers Legacy TV show, it's been announced. So, really, my only word would be to pick this up if you want to get all three Insecticons, because we know Hasbro are going to do all three Insecticons, because they're always going to get them and repaint them later on down the line. For example, they have already taken this mold and are going to be using it for the Bumblebee Buzzworthy Beast Collection, which is going to have Ransack in it, and a couple of other Insecticons, and I think Bombshell has been announced. Plus, this is a good way to start army building. And Decepticon Mirage, again, I really am quite sad that I slept on him initially. But now that I have him, he's an absolutely gorgeous figure. Both him and Kickback have been some of the most amazing figures I've gotten recently. So, yes, I've been Duncan Hoover saying G1 Superion, and thank you so much for watching this review. Hit comment, or leave a comment, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more random content, and I'll see you next time. This is G1 Superion, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!